Hey guys, HDV here and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got quite a few things to go over. Some new rumors have popped up regarding the next trailer for Pokémon Legends ZA, apparently happening in May. We also have some theories for Pokémon Legends ZA and then also some potential Nintendo Switch 2 price updates as well. A lot of things to break down and get into today. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, just a couple of quick things to go over if you are living in the UK. The first season of Pokemon Horizons is now available to watch on Netflix. Again, we were available to watch this on the BBC iPlayer app, but you can now watch it on Netflix if you're in the UK. If you want, I mean, most people have access to BBC iPlayer in the UK anyway, probably more so than Netflix, but either way, it's on there if you do want to watch it on Netflix. And then the next thing I wanted to go over is this post from PokeBeach saying Destined Rivals booster pack artwork revealed, confirms the sets to feature Team Rocket. So this is the booster pack artwork, so it's Team Rocket, Rivals. It's going to be a big set. It's going to be a very, very sought after TCG set, very similar to Prismatic Evolutions, very similar to the other one as well that's coming out. Can't remember off the top of my head, the one with N and his Zoroark and Reshiram and all that. But yeah, that is the artwork for the next, I don't know if it's the next one, but it's one that's coming out relatively soon. But either way, going to be very, very difficult to get your hands on this, just like Prismatic Evolutions. Moving on, let's go over a couple of theories regarding Pokemon Legends ZA. So this is another sort of kind of take on Zygarde looking at Prism Tower, which again, in my opinion, I think it is gonna be like something evil is going on there, which is why you see Zygarde looking at it in the second trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. Got Soul Silver out here saying, hear me out, what if the A of Pokemon Legends ZA is somehow related to Prism Tower? I see the vision and I think Zygarde does too. Why else would he be facing the tower in this final scene of the trailer? And we know, I mean, not that we know that something interesting is going on at Prism Tower, but the fact that the very end of the trailer has that ominous music playing with the Prism Tower logo with like the Pokeball on top, for me, I just think it seems very, very kind of evil team-ish, you know. I think something's going to be going on there. And we have this person here, BT, saying, I can see it, the shot of Zygarde looking at the tower, as well as the tower being implied to be where these promotion matches are to be held. Just feels like there's a deeper meaning towards it, especially since the tone of the promotion matches feels so off within the trailer. Yeah, exactly what I just said. So it looks like there is going to be some evil shenanigans happening, and Zygarde is, I guess, sensing it early or something, because it doesn't look like anything's going on at the moment. Like, it's a nice clear day, there's mountains in the background, but he's on this rooftop, he's looking straight at it, he's not happy about it. But either way, wanted to quickly go over that. And then the next thing that I wanted to go over is regarding AZ and his hotel. So this is another post from Soul Silver saying two names from the Pokemon Legends ZA trailer that I found interesting. So Hotel Z, very sus that this is the name of AZ's hotel. Being 3,000 years old, or around 3,000 years old, AZ definitely knows things. And apparently this hotel is really old and was forgotten until he came around. So the Z implies something related to Zygarde or Infinity/Zenith energy. AZ probably brought this place for a reason. Could he have his own connection or motives related to Zygarde now? Like, it'd be a massive twist. But what if AZ was like the evil guy in this game? It could be a very massive twist, but I don't know why he would be evil, because I feel like Eternal Flirt would be able to sense that, and I don't think Eternal Flirt would be kind of partnering up with AZ if that was the case, if that makes sense. And then Quasartico, the name, very Spanish feeling etymology. I doubt it means much other than a fun nod to Paldea. ZA is obviously a Gen 9 game. The AZ sort of information on the website says, AZ is a man who stands over 9 feet tall. He's the owner of Hotel Z and claims to be 3,000 years old. He quietly harbors a strong determination and will. And then this is, of course, Quasartico Inc. And then we have a bit more information about here as well from Soul Silver Art saying, just thought about this. It's very likely that AZ even named this hotel. Why name it Z? I mean, he probably is. He's the owner, so he probably did name it. So maybe he was there when this hotel was first built and it was originally called Hotel Z a few hundred years ago, or maybe something happened in the past in this exact spot related to Zygarde that made him name the hotel this way. Like, maybe Zygarde's even in the hotel at the start and then maybe escapes or something, or maybe senses this sort of power or energy coming from the tower, and so then starts to maybe, I don't know, I mean, because it's only the 10% form right now as well, so how is it going to get to the 50% form, 100% form, or even a Mega Zygarde, which again is very likely to be in this game? Do we have to collect the cells? We did see one in the trailer as well on a different rooftop, so maybe we are partnering up with Zygarde. We have to collect the cells, which make it stronger, so it's going to be able to do something to Prism Tower, or like protect the ecosystem in a better way, or I don't know, something like that. But that's all the kind of ZA theories and stuff that I wanted to go over. Next up, we have some potential Nintendo Switch 2 price updates. So Nintendo Live here tweeting out saying Nintendo will likely price the Nintendo Switch 2 at $399, says analyst. So again, this isn't confirmed or anything. This isn't a rumor or a leak. This is an analyst who, of course, you'd like to think has a lot of information in this field, saying that, you know, the Switch 2 is probably going to be priced around $399. So it's above the Switch, but below its competitors, which I think is just the sweet spot for Nintendo anyway. Like, they're never going to charge the Switch 2 at like $700, $800 or whatever the PS5 Pro is. Like, it's just not going to happen. But I think $450 is a very good sort of price range for this console. And then you'll get bigger sort of bundles as well, where you can get maybe Mario Kart 9 and then the Switch 2, maybe an extra set of Joy-Cons or something like that, which is going to be $450 or $500 or whatever. And that's obviously what will happen when the console comes out. But anyway, it says an analyst has predicted that Nintendo will likely price the upcoming Nintendo Switch 2 at $399. Obviously, there's other things that come into play as well, with tariffs and everything, and obviously currency conversion. Like $399 for me would be like £350 or something like that. For, I guess, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, it'd be more than that. So there's a lot of kind of other factors that come into play. Tax as well as another one. But we've got Joost van Drunen, I hope I pronounced that right, author of One Up, Creativity, Competition, and the Global Business of Video Games, and co-founder of the Nielsen-owned games market research firm Super Data Research, has presented his reasoning for his prediction in his latest Super Juiced playlist newsletter. So in it, he states that a $399 price point would comfortably straddle the line between affordable and premium, positioning it below its direct competitors but above the current Switch. So this is the sort of reasoning behind it. So based on current market dynamics and platform positioning strategy, Nintendo is likely to price the Switch 2 at $399. It represents a critical psychological threshold that balances premium hardware aspirations against mainstream market accessibility. And then at this price point, Nintendo would maintain its traditional positive margin on hardware while positioning the Nintendo Switch 2 distinctly below rival premium gaming devices, yet above the original Switch's launch price, which I think was about $300. It signals a meaningful technological advancement without altering its core family demographic. So he also notes that at a time in which a potential trade war might present some unfortunate obstacles, Nintendo will be focusing more on platform sustainability over raw unit economics. As such, its move to promote backwards compatibility and a seamless transition from the OG Nintendo Switch likely means the firm is leaning toward player retention and software attachment rates over immediate console sales. So Nintendo's ability to maintain premium price points for its software over multiple years, that it doesn't need to leverage Nintendo Switch Online quite as much as Sony and Microsoft do with their own respective subscription services. With the Nintendo Switch 2 being backwards compatible, Nintendo will be looking to focus on maximizing software revenue and digital engagement over a much lengthier console lifespan, as evidenced by the Nintendo Switch. And then finally, Juiced mentions that PC handhelds like the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally likely won't encroach on Nintendo's territory, much thanks to their higher price points. He states that data suggests the audience overlap between these devices and Nintendo is minimal thanks to the latter's exclusive lineup of first-party games, meaning that most owners of premium PC handhelds likely maintain multiple gaming platforms. So, yeah, I mean, I'd be very happy with $400. I assume you would be as well. I don't think it's going to be anything less than that because the Switch 1 was $300. You know, cost of technology now has obviously gone up. Plus, it's a much better console as well, and it's going to take more. It's going to cost more to produce the games that come out for this console as well, so they're going to be more expensive. But yeah, nowhere near the lengths and levels of kind of the PlayStation and the Xbox and stuff. But either way, hopefully this is true. I'd be very happy with this. And then yeah, there's probably going to be like a Mario Kart 8 bundle, or 9 bundle, should I say, that is like $450 or something like that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on this. What do you think the price of the Nintendo Switch 2 will be? And then also, finishing things off for today's video, we have a new rumor to go over that was posted on the the 2nd of March 2025, and it's titled Trailer 2. I assume Trailer 3 because we've already had Trailer 2. This is not an image of the regional or mega evolution of Emboar, by the way. They say that in the post, you know, the pick is not kind of has any relevance. This is just, I think someone made this on Twitter. Really, really cool design, though. I actually really like this Emboar design. But yeah, this has nothing to do with this rumor. They've just kind of picked this out because they're talking about regional forms. So I just wanted to make that abundantly clear. Again, it is posted on 4chan, so take it with a massive grain of salt anyway, as always. But they say, I've seen it, it's just been finished. So the 3rd trailer is coming on the 14th of May. Which is a Wednesday. Showcases new mega evolutions for the starters, and the pick is unrelated. So this would be, well, this, I don't know if this is a regional Emboar or a mega Emboar, but they're saying that it's going to be a mega Emboar. So Meganium becomes Grass Fury, which again we're all pretty certain of because Chikorita now learns Disarming Voice, which it couldn't before. As predicted, pretty much just has a larger neck flower and has a 3rd antennae coming from the back of its neck. We then have Emboar, which becomes Fire Rock type. Does get rollout. I think it already had rollout anyway, but, you know, it would get some stuff from that. With rocks covering its body, shown using a new rock move I couldn't recognize. And then it says Feraligatr will be Water Dragon and has sharper spikes and a longer snout. Couldn't really see anything dragony about him. I mean, the reason that I think this is just fake straight off the bat is not only do I think the starters are not getting mega evolutions, I think they're getting regional forms. Again, I could be wrong 100%. It's one of the two, you know, it's either regional forms or mega evolutions. So yeah, I'm not inclined to believe them because of that. But then they're also not going to reveal the final starter sort of mega evolutions in the 3rd trailer. In Generation 8, Generation 9, you know, Legends Arceus, we never got the final starters revealed until the game had come out. And I think that that's just something that they're going to do now, which is unfortunate because, you know, maybe you want to go, I don't know, maybe you want to go Totodile in this game and, you know, because you don't like Chikorita and Tepig or whatever, and then Feraligatr turns out to look really stupid, and then Meganium looks really cool. You don't then have the Meganium. I mean, hopefully you can catch these in the wild regardless like you could in Pokemon Legends Arceus, but if you can't, you're gonna be kicking yourself a little bit. You're gonna be like, but if I knew that they were gonna be the final starters, I would have gone with this instead. Because at the end of the day, you've only got Chikorita, Totodile, and Tepig for what, like 10, 11 levels. You've only got the 2nd stage for another 20 odd levels, and then after that, you've got the final stage for the longest time. So it really just depends on what the final starter looks like, the final stage, because that's the one you're gonna have for the longest of time. So yeah, again, I just don't think they're going to reveal the starters this early anyway. I think they'll show a new mega evolution in the next trailer, 100%. But I do not think it's going to be the starters. But anyway, it then says you can now ride your Pokemon with the majority of them being compatible. Seen are Go-Goat for land travel, Pidgeot for flight, and Feraligatr for canal traversing. Again, not something that I agree with in the slightest. I don't think there's going to be rideable Pokemon in this game. Like, what do we really need them for? There's a taxi service, which we've seen in the background of the trailer. And then also we can teleport up rooftops. So we don't, and then obviously jumping off rooftops, you use your Rotom phone to kind of glide onto the next one. So we don't need a Pokemon that can fly. We don't need a Pokemon that can travel on land. And we don't need a Pokemon that can climb. So that's 3 of the 3 of the rideable Pokemon in Legends Arceus already not needed in ZA. And then in regards to like surfing, I mean, it's just a canal, so highly unlikely we'd need to surf across it. There's probably just bridges and stuff. Or maybe you can just jump over it, who knows, with the Rotom phone. So we're probably going to not need that. And then what's the other one? Ursaluna sniffing items and stuff. Again, there's probably just going to be the item finder in this game. So very, very unlikely we're going to need rideable Pokemon. I think that's all of them. But yeah, for me, and also Feraligatr being one of the rideables, like what if you don't start with Feraligatr? You know, I don't know. Anyway, it says also some Pokemon I could see in the background were Drowsy, Zorua, Pelipper, Butterfree, Dunsparce, Heliolisk, and Stoutland from what I can remember. So a few returning Pokemon there. And then it says trailer ends with the camera panning in en route gate with 13 poorly etched into the stone above it, with smoke rising from within the gate. So that would be one of the wild area zone kind of places. It'd have 13 above it. Obviously, we've only seen like 1, and I think we saw 8 in the trailer as well. So we know there's at least 8, which again, there's going to be a lot more than that. But it says the game releases on Thursday, the 23rd of October, 2025. Yeah, I mean, It's weird about the release date because obviously on the English trailers, it said, you know, late 2025, but on the Japanese trailer, it said like fall 2025. And they usually say winter when a game comes out in November. So we are kind of expecting it to come out a little bit earlier than November. So maybe October, September time. Which again, I wouldn't be surprised that we haven't had a new Pokemon game since Scarlet and Violet came out. The DLC doesn't really count. So they don't have to stick to that November release schedule. Maybe they change it up, who knows. And Thursday, like Thursday 23rd of October, like September, October is still close enough to Christmas as well. Because that's what they usually want to do. They usually want to get like the holiday sales and everything in. But I think October is still absolutely fine. And then it says all the footage within this trailer is recorded on the Nintendo Switch 2, which has been confirmed to be receiving a patch with increased performance and better graphics. Scarlet and Violet will also receive the patch. Yeah, I mean, look, whether they make an enhanced version for the Switch 2 or not, hopefully they do, because I'm playing this on the Switch 2. I'm not playing this on the Switch. The Switch 2 is out before this game, and it's playable on the Switch 2, so I'm obviously, like, I'm not going to just randomly bring my Switch 1 out again just to play it, like, when I've got the Switch 2 right there. So yeah, I really hope there is an enhanced version, because it'll just make the playthrough of this game that much better. In regards to Scarlet and Violet getting a patch, though, I just think that's unlikely. I think, obviously, they're playable on the Switch 2, so hopefully they just run better. Hopefully they're not capped at, like, frames and stuff, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm very much not going with this rumor. I just don't think that they're going to show the starters off in the next trailer, and I also do not think they're going to have rideable Pokemon in this game. So I'm calling fake. Let me know your thoughts on this one. Would you like it to be true or not? And then also, what are your thoughts on the Switch 2 price being around $399? And then what are your thoughts on the other sort of theories and stuff we've gone over in today's video? But thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. It's trying to hit 500 likes, does really help out. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.